10 people have been killed after a pickup truck was driven into crowds in the U.S. city of New Orleans. It happened as people were out celebrating the new year. Police say it was a deliberate act.
He was hell-bent on creating the carnage and the damage that he did.
The FBI says it's investigating the attack as terrorism.
Belgium has become the first country in the European Union to ban the sale of disposable vapes. Its government has growing concerns about how many children are using them, with data suggesting it might be more than half of young people. A ban on single-use vapes here will take effect in the UK from June. A pipeline that crosses Ukraine, bringing cheaper gas from Russia to Europe, has been shut off permanently. Slovakia is the most affected country, but the European Commission promises that careful planning and alternative supplies should limit the impact. Romania and Bulgaria are now members of the Schengen zone, which allows passport-free movement through much of Europe. Both countries held celebrations at the borders last night after they were first approved to join 13 years ago, but objections from some other members led to delays in the process.
Good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with John Kay and Nina Warhurst.
Happy New Year. Here are our headlines. Celebrations around the globe as the world rings in 2025. But in some parts of the UK, fireworks were scaled back because of weather warnings.
Also this morning, calls for the government to speed up the compensation to victims of the post office scandal face penalties.
Gas and electricity bills are set to rise for most households from today as the energy price cap increases for the second time this winter.
Good morning. Taking the bus is set to cost more from this morning in parts of England as single fares can rise by up to 50% from today. I'll have all the details.
In sport, the January transfer window is now open and one Premier League club is already fighting to keep a star player. Liverpool have rejected a Real Madrid approach to sign their defender Trent Alexander-Arnold.
And more Met Office warnings to start the new year, including an amber warning for heavy rain and flooding in parts of northern England. Rain, wind will sweep southwards today. It will turn colder too.
It's been announced that Ross Kemp will reprise his role as Grant Mitchell in EastEnders as part of the soap's 40th anniversary.
Doof, 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 doof. There he is. When he joined the show nearly 35 years ago, Steve McFadden playing his brother Phil, Peggy, his mum, of course, played by Dame Barbara Windsor, and now Ross says he's delighted to be returning, saying it's always meant so much to him.
I was recalling Sharon Gate, do you remember? The love triangle, when he found out in the pub, and 25 million viewers watched. It broke all records at the time. 25 million?
Very close to the figures that I'm sure we're getting right now at 14 minutes past 6
He's not set the alarm for 6
day.
o'clock on New Year's Day.
Is there anybody up? Anybody up? If you are, we're delighted to have you with us here on the 1st of January.
Yeah, get in touch if you are up. Yeah, let us know.
Please. Here, the price of gas and electricity will rise for the majority of British households from today as the energy price cap increases for the second time this winter. Bill payers on a standard variable tariff can expect to pay around £21 a year more than under the previous cap, taking a total dual fuel bill to £1,738 a year. So let's have a look at the New Year's Day papers, shall we? And lots of them carry headlines about the start of 2025, including The Guardian. That's the front page, showing pictures of the fireworks over Sydney's iconic harbour skyline, and says that the new year has arrived with a bang. Certainly has. We've had loads of fireworks already here this morning, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. Always pressure on Sydney to do it the best, isn't it? And the front page is also dominated by stories about an increase in the energy price cap, a story that we're, of course, covering this morning. The Daily Mail claims the increase will leave the government at risk of breaking an election pledge to bring down the cost of energy bills, as Sir Keir Starmer vowed to put more cash in your pocket during his New Year message.
Let's have a look at the Times. Their front page carries a warning about the government's plan to recruit 6,500 extra teachers, with the paper reporting that research which says that the plan could cost £5 billion a year. Ministers, of course, have also reportedly been warned that they may fail to hit their goal before the end of this Parliament. So loads of questions about finance and the economy as the new year starts.
Yeah, the financial year will soon come round. Now, it is a new year, though, and that means plenty of new telly. I'm still working my way through my 2024 list. Are you?
Get up to date. It's 25.
The full roundup of contestants of the new series of The Traitors has been revealed ahead of the start of the new series tonight. A big event in the Kay household.
We love it. We absolutely love it. And look, we can show you this morning a mugshot. It's a massive mugshot, isn't it? Of the 25 people who will compete in the new series that starts this evening. Get used to those faces. Going to see them a lot over the next few weeks as they compete to win 120 grand.
Yeah, if you've not watched it, so they're split into two groups, faithfuls and traitors. Most of the contestants are faithfuls, but the traitors' job is to take out the fellow players secretly in the hope of winning the money and stealing it for themselves, or they can choose to share it, can't they? This year's contestants include a priest, a retired opera singer and a former diplomat. John's had his highlighter pen out and he's ringing around already his favourite character. Go on.
Because it's a really interesting
What are you predicting,
cast.
Mystic John?
Well, there's a retired an army veteran, Leanne, who left the army at 28, who apparently tells the other contestants that she's a nail technician because she doesn't want them to know her true strategic advantage. And of course, Harry, who won it last year, he was ex-army as well, current army at the time. So yeah, they're retired. Anglican priest.
An Anglican priest.
Will she lie?
I was going to say cross on her back, but cross on her front. Yeah, probably. And you wonder, as with Harry and the nail technician, whether it's best to just create an entirely new identity.
Yeah, and you can do
rather than adapt your own one.
Apparently, there are interviews in there with Claudia Winkleman as well, who said there are all kinds of twists this year. And apparently, the first episode, not seen it, but apparently it's a belter.
And she says she's really had to harden up. Last series, she got really upset when some people were kicked out, and now she's ready for...
Doesn't care.
No,
See ya. And look, we've had loads of messages from you. We said, is there anybody out there? We've had loads of messages. Joe is up. Alan is up. David's up. Joe is... Loads of you. Loads of emails. Oh. So welcome. We're glad to have you with us this New Year's Day.
Why are you with us? Let us know some detail. OK, the fireworks across London may have fizzled out. Well, celebrations continue today as the annual New Year's Day parade takes place. That starts at midday in London. We've
just got another one, but I think it's junk mail. Despite weather concerns in some places, the parade organisers are confident that the event will still go ahead in London. And our reporter, Megan Owen, she's also with us this morning. Wow, and so are they. That's an early start. Morning. Happy New Year.
Morning. Happy New Year, John. Well, you are watching the Kilgore College Rangerettes, and they are some of the 8,000 performers who've come from 26 countries around the world to take part in today's London's New Year's parade. Now, they are bracing the rain, they are bracing the wind, there are weather warnings in place, but the parade is still set to go ahead, even though it is a little bit blustery.
A major incident is declared in Greater Manchester after torrential rain caused severe flooding. There are 80 flood warnings across the UK. Small boat crossings. Nearly 37,000 people crossed the English Channel last year, up 25% on the year before. Testing the DNA of ancient bones, how a new research method could revolutionise our understanding of British history. And come on in, the water's freezing. Seeing in the new year with a traditional dip.